Today on Household Hacker, we're going to make a DIY fire pit that can be used with wood or as a decorative piece that runs off canned heat. Let's get toasty! To kick this off, we have to start from the beginning. We got ourselves a large bucket, sandpaper, a trowel, quick dry cement, a couple of bricks to use as weights, as well as 2 large flower pots. One needs to be larger than the other. You'll see why. First, we're going to take our large flower pots. These can be any shape you desire, as it's going to form the mold for the cement. Coat the inside of the large pot with vegetable oil, and then do the same for the outside of the smaller pot. This is very important as it will allow us to remove the dried cement with ease. Now it's time to mix up the cement. We used a standard 50-pound bag and poured it into a 5-gallon bucket. Once you have the mix in the bucket, add water and stir until you get a soft but workable consistency. Now you don't want the mixture to be soupy or too wet as it won't set well, so add water slowly as you go. If you're using quick dry cement like us, you're gonna have to work fast. As soon as we had it mixed up, we poured all of the cement directly into the larger flower pot and scraped the remains from the bucket to make sure we got it all. Once it's in there, give it a few more stirs and make sure it's fully mixed, and then weigh down the smaller pot with weights or bricks or even a bucket of water. This will help form the mold and displace the cement that's already present while keeping the small pot in place. Now you want to center the smaller pot to get a nice even set. Press down hard and hold it until you're about 2 inches from the bottom. This is going to give it a strong enough base to remain sturdy and push the cement around the smaller pot, forming our fire pit. Now it's also a good idea to tap the sides hard and try and loosen any bubbles or gaps, and this will help even it out as well. Once that's done, we have to wait for it to set. Our cement mixture took about 6 hours to dry, but we left it out overnight to make sure it was extremely durable before moving on. Just read the instructions on your bag and see what's suggested. After it fully dries, simply pull out the smaller pot. If you coated it with enough oil, it should pop out with ease. The same can be said for the actual concrete cast that we created. The oil will make this step extremely simple. We flip the fire pit onto a cushion to avoid shattering. After you have your casted fire pit, get out some heavy grit sandpaper and grind down any sharp edges and smooth out the top and the sides. This shouldn't take very long, just try and get the top and sides less jagged. Alright, your fire pit is ready to use. You have a couple of options here. Depending on the size of pit you made, you may be able to fit firewood inside and have a traditional fire right on your patio. We simply broke up several pieces of wood into smaller bits and sparked it up using one of our fire starting techniques from a previous video. You can check that video out by clicking here. As you can see, it went off without a hitch, but let's get a bit more fancy. You can get a huge bag of lava rocks for $4 at almost any hardware store. So we picked up a bag of that and some canned heat, also known as sterno. We put a small layer of rock on the bottom and placed the sterno cans into the pit. Once in place, we lit them and surrounded the cans with the remaining rock and even put some right into the cans. The rock is very porous and air will still flow through, allowing you to have a nifty little fire pit that is great for cooking or warming up you and your friends. Once it gets going, it'll really spark up and put out a strong and solid flame. The lava rock's gonna collect heat and radiate it out to anyone sitting nearby, so you can always stay nice and warm in the cold winter days ahead. So there you have it, your very own DIY concrete fire pit. If you want to see more cool tricks using concrete, let us know what you want to see in the comments, and we'll check you out next time.